Are we on? I'm going to talk about trucks tonight. And I'm going to talk about cars. And I'm going to talk about engines. And I'm going to talk about I want to try to make it quick. Here's the thing about vehicles these days. Computers. Late 80s, early 90s, they started putting these computers in with these vehicles. And I'm like, why? Why? You know, there's the KISS system out there. It's called Keep It Simple, Stupid. And trucks used to be, well, cars used to be, before the chips came around, all these computer systems and all this other shit got installed, and backup cameras and power this and power that. And, you know, in regards to trucks, just men wanted trucks. Working men and women wanted trucks to haul their tools around. They got to go to Home Depot. They got to go to Ace Hardware. They got to go to Lowe's. They got to go, you know, to the local feed store, whatever they got to do. And they got to pick up some stuff real quick. And they don't want to throw it in the back of the SUV, which I get, or the station wagon back in the day, right? But it was a simple thing. It was a very simple, usable, reliable, easy to work on. Every car these days, every truck these days, you have to have the dealership get in there with these special tools, when you could pretty much do everything with a wrench, a couple of screwdrivers, some sockets, you know, just to take from a Mustang or whatever, and you could just easily work on the vehicle because the engine bays were huge. There was so much space. I actually remember working on my buddy's truck. He had a GMC pickup, a beast. He put a semi-high-rise manifold, just rockers and all kinds of stuff in there, just beef hooker headers, 4-barrel Holley carburetor. I think it went to dual at some point, but he used to light it up all the way down my street. I mean, that thing would just smoke rubber for a mile. It was fucking awesome. And I had a lot of good times on that truck. We also worked on lots of cars when we were kids. When I was a kid with my grandfather, I worked on a Lincoln Continental Mark IV, that's a 71. Worked on a Lincoln Continental Mark IV, that's a 71, 72, around early 70s. I worked on a Chrysler 72, around early 70s. I worked on a Chrysler Newporters. I've worked on diesels. I used to work on cars because they were accessible and they weren't that hard and didn't take a lot of tools. There was just a few things that you needed. But now it's just, what's that thing they call planned obsolescence now? I don't care if you're getting a vacuum, if you're getting a washer and dryer, whatever the hell you're buying, it's planned obsolescence. There's nothing in there that lasts 6 months to a year. Vicious cycle of theft, in my opinion. And back in the day, this was the Ford F-150s. They used to be prominent, monstrous fender welds. The way the fenders were shaped, it was made for this vehicle to be off the ground by a foot and a half. I mean, and you could go over anything and around anything. You might have to jump out in the center, but it was extremely easy, and it was badass. It was fucking badass. Now the cars these days and the trucks these days are just pansies. It's just. Why do I need to have? Well, Trump's doing this new thing. Let's listen to this real quick. He's doing this, right?
All right, well, now President Trump is making a big push for tiny cars to be made in America. Max Gordon is in Anaheim, California, with more on this. Max, are drivers really willing to downsize their cars?
Well, David, I think that is the big question. Last year, Ford sold 765,000. These are called K cars, and as you can see, they sure are.
And they're fucking tiny. Look, I'm not tiny. I'm 6'1". I used to be 6'1 and a half, 6'1 and 5/8. But I'm a big man, right? I'm 275, 280 pounds of, stuff, some muscle in there. But this, right? That's gonna work for me. This right here is gonna work for me. That's great. And all these trucks, what was the best thing about these trucks is it had a bench seat. So your woman could just snuggle up next to you and you can just put your arm around her and drive around. It was just fucking awesome. And it's just a town like this is perfect. But if you're cruising around Southern California, where everybody's driving at 80, 85 miles an hour on the freeways and they're moving quick, those little cars are going to get eaten to death. I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to work. Let's look at some of the specs of this vehicle. Like here's an old truck, slammed, right? But that was a fucking awesome truck, right? I mean, I can go on and on and on. Let me just go here and look at a couple of these. Let's go back to people throwing. Why is that? Why can't you see that? Yeah, let me fix it. There we go. Oh, that's why. Okay, my bad. But anyway, that's a beautiful truck. It's a two-wheel drive, but that thing's probably got a 350 in it, maybe a 454, and it's just blaze rubber. I don't know. I see just gorgeous right there. That's what I see. I see gorgeous. Right. Then they got. Let me jump over to this one real quick. This is the 2024 Ford F-150 Tremor. And this is the MSRP starting at $64,000. Is it electric? I don't fucking know. And it's tested at $81,000. You can buy a gigantic house in the Midwest, in Central America, the South, West Virginia. I mean, you could buy a fucking house with that. A nice house. 3-bedroom, 1.5, 2-bath, 2-car garage, on 2 acres of land. Easily. You might might be a little fixer-upper, but you can pick it up. Why? Right? I don't need this shit. Let's see. Let's kind of look through here.
Super Crew 4x4 Tremor with the 5-liter Coyote weighs in at 5,267 pounds.
That's 5 liter. Okay.
Aluminium drive shaft. It's one piece, about as long as the total torque input rating of 800 Newton meters or.
All right, time for the braking test. There's nothing behind me. Ready? Okay, here goes. Whoa! Weird. There was such a soft braking. That has to be from the suspension. Oh, that's a good indicator how this is going to be off-road. It was just like I was in a pillow. Not really any ABS drama. Maybe a whiff quicker than normal stopping distance I was expecting for.
So this chick does a lot of reviews on a lot of cars. She's very sucker for brunettes.
And honestly, this is the way to go in these trucks.
Leaf springs too.
Look at that. Oh no, you gotta have this.
Those are running boards actually on the sand over there. How's the turning radius in 4-wheel drive? That's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be turning radius wise.
I guess if I wanted a sharper turning radius, I could use the trail turn assist. I tested this on the Bronco. It's kind of a neat feature. It locks up the inner brake when you're turning around a sharp corner.
Right up here at the top of the dash.
Next to the hunter killer robot spying on you, you can select this little pickup truck off-road, and that enables the trail one-pedal drive. You can set the speed in half-mile-per-hour increments with the cruise control buttons.
That's just retarded. That's retarded. I want to go back to this real quick. I want to look at this F-150. I want to see if I think there's more. The interior. Look at that. Look at the engine. Look at me. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Look at that. Easy. There's the upper radiator hose, the big fat one, goes across the middle there. You know, everything's very simple. There's the master cylinder for the brakes. I mean, you can get to everything. In my time, buddy, I've had 6 trucks. 150s, Dodges. One of my favorite trucks was a Toyota Tacoma. That single cab, and I used to beat the crap out of that thing. I would take it all over through the deserts and all kinds of shit. The F-150 was pretty good too. What else? I've had an old 68 or 69 Dodge truck, and one other one. What the fuck was that? Maybe 5. Okay, anyway. And a lot of older cars. I had a Cuda. I've had a Camaro straight 6, 68 straight 6. That was actually my ex-wife's car. And then she dinged it in. Oh, God, it broke my heart. She ran into somebody, dinged up the front. It wasn't that bad at damage, but it was just like, fuck, man, that car was in mint condition. And I was working on it. A straight 6 V8 in 1968 was probably the greatest and most easiest vehicle to work on. Now look at this engine compartment. Everything's right there. You could 2000. I should have put that up here. 2025. I'm gonna pick on Dodge. Why not? I have a Dodge. Ram 1500 engine bay. Images. Okay, let's look. Yeah, look at this. Here you go. Where is it? Come on. We're going to go down. We're going to look at this stuff, but I'm telling you, it's just stuff you don't fucking need. Oh, yeah, you need a... This is insane. Out of that truck, and you could take anything under 88, 89, and you could throw something on it and get 50 more horsepower. You can put hooker headers on it or a bigger carburetor. You can do all, and it's fun. Where is that picture? I just said that. Just had a picture. Where's the picture? I'm not seeing an engine compartment here. Oh, here. Let's look at the engine. Oh, there it is. Yeah. You can touch the battery. It looks like there's 2. There's the air filter. And the aspirator for the thing is underneath that. And good luck trying to get stuff out of there. It's just not going to happen. You are fucked. You are just totally fucked. I'm telling you. It takes a half hour to get into these things. Whereas an old truck, an engine in an old truck, you just go right in. It's just, it's there. Everything's ready to go. Everything's there. Right on the top. Done. And then right behind that on the bottom right, you can't see it, but you can easily see it and touch it when you're right there. The alternator. The distributor. And the coil. And just the wires are easy to get to. You can change good luck changing your spark plugs on this fucking other vehicle. Good luck. There's basically... It's going to take you about 3 hours to get in there. It's retarded. It's just gone back long. As these middle trucks, great. A little mini truck, whatever. Okay, probably easy to work on. I like it, but we want the simplicity. All we need, I'll even the roll-up windows. I don't give a shit. All we need you know, what would be cool if somebody created where you could actually engage. I don't remember the vehicle, but people get trapped in their vehicles when it's going in the water in a lake or the ocean or whatever. They can't get out. Manual or automatic, 4-wheel drive. We can click it in from the column. I don't want a button that signals it. We don't want that. We want to feel that thing lock in. You can do that. Or you can get out and turn the knobs, turn it to 4-wheel drive. I don't give a shit about that. We don't need a backup fucking camera. A stereo, sensors, and a fucking big screen inside of your truck. You just need something that works. You need air conditioning. You need a heater. Just some simple shit, which that truck had. You know, you don't need power seats in a truck. I'm telling you right now. You just don't. Because the guy that's driving that truck is probably all the fucking time. He's just done. It's just the way it is. But bring back real trucks. Trucks are fucking trucks. They're not little toys. You know, I've hauled so much shit in my truck. I've got 207,000 miles on my truck, and it works fine. I've changed my own brakes a bunch. I just changed the U-joints for the first time in fucking, how many years? 20 years? 20 some odd years? It's a fucking good truck. Plus, I don't have a payment, and I buy one of those trucks. No fucking way. What I would buy is a 1978 to 88 Ford, Dodge, Chevy pickup 4x4. And I would have that. And it's got a heater, it's got air conditioning, maybe automatic, column, whatever, just fucking simple. And I would have a simple vehicle that I could use simply to drive around, and it would do everything it needs to do. Other shit and heated seat, yeah. I don't need that shit. You know, there's cars. Look, if I, of course, I'm going to get her everything I can to make sure she's comfortable. That's, you know, keep mama happy. That's goal number one. You know, here's the heated seats for your little SUV, whatever. Leave my fucking truck alone. Right? So, now that we know climate change is a scam, do we need to fucking have all this shit, the smog crap? Do we have detergents in the fuel to clean up the air? You know, the catalytic converters, all this other shit, and governors and all this other crap that are in vehicles now is just bull. What the fuck? The car's running, it warms up, and it runs. Right? Diesels can run at, I don't know, 50 below or something like that. All I'm saying to you is trucks are trucks. We're sick of the bullshit. We want fucking real trucks to come back. We don't want these freaking retarded, these things. We don't want it any more of this shit anymore. We don't want it. We don't need it. We're not asking for it. Oh, look, you get this little compartment in the back. Just toss your tools in a fucking, what? I don't need that shit. It looks cool. One problem. You make a simple vehicle with good steel, good American fucking ingenuity. You make it just keeping it simple. It's a work truck, right? Nothing too crazy in it. And just keep it simple so I can work on it. But this is the revolving door plan of planned obsolescence. They put all this crap in there. They want you to get the fucking 5-year plan of coverage and all this other stuff, and once you hit a certain amount of miles, you're fucked. It's just a wonderful vehicle, right here. You can have a great looking vehicle like this. It's just 4-wheel drive. I'll roll up, right? AC and heater, and a bench seat. I want the fucking bench seats to come back. I'm tired of this separation shit. I want my woman. And you can make them pretty as you want on the outside. Nobody fucking cares. I don't think a guy's looking at a truck going, oh, that's pretty. Truck, Jordan. Hey, Snork. I remember having a Chevy truck with 2 30-gallon diesels. Yeah. My grandfather and I, hey, Snork, my grandfather in the Volkswagen Rabbit, he had a 79, I think, in the back. And that thing could go to Vegas. by itself over about 400 miles. I think it could go there and back, or there and halfway. It was amazing. The thing rattled, but once it was cruising, that thing was fast and it was smooth. German-made Volkswagen back in the day. You know, if you're sitting at a stoplight, you're getting the shake. But man, I'm telling you, that was a fucking great car. I'm just telling Ford, Dodge, you know, I don't really care what Toyota does or Nissan does or Datsun. Nobody knows. Remember what Datsun is. But Dodge, Ford, we want our trucks back. If climate change is open up the engine bay, I can touch everything. I don't have to move everything to touch things. Just bring it back. And stop making these vehicles that break down. I mean, all the stuff you throw in, the more you add to a vehicle, the more chances you have that it's going to break down, or something's going to fail, or something's going to go wrong. There's just too much going on. Just drive the fucking vehicle and haul ass. That's it. Pretty much that's it. Snork, I sent you an email in regards to John Deere is creating excavator truck, heavy equipment, and there's a Montauk, and I want you guys to bring back the fucking the vehicles, man. I want the freaking, look at this. This is just gorgeous right here. This is a gorgeous vehicle. Just look at that. Simple, and will take you anywhere and everywhere. Just, you know, real street B, man. Bring this back. Look at the sliding window in the center. That's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is James with Montauk. I want to say big aloha to everybody and mahalo. I told you I'd do a truck show. This is it. Hopefully I'll get some views on it, some likes, and subscribe. But I'm telling you right now, let's just keep it simple, people. It's really simple. Just keeping it simple is huge. We just got to keep it simple. That's all we got to do. Just keep